Jurassic Parker.
Salutations, everyone. Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary. I hope y'all feeling well. Hope y'all doing good. This is the BearatNight podcast. Just got a little review for you guys. Doing things here a little differently than before. Little bit of trial and error with certain things as I work through this podcast, as I grow with this whole thing, this new journey. I took a break from this whole thing back when we started working because I was doing this. As some of you guys know, that I was doing some of this called the power chat during the lockdown, and it was fun and it was great. But then everybody had to start back working. Only I was working during that whole time, but everybody else wasn't. This is what is it? The offspring of that whole situation. And this episode is all about the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Now, if you see this part of the podcast visually, you see that I am holding Star-Lord's elemental blasters. I think that's what they call it in the movie, but I think they just call it blasters or guns, whatever. But you see these here? These are really, really dope. I will put a link in the description down below. But this is all, 3D printed. So it's very lightweight. Doesn't have any electronics in it. No, nothing fancy like that, which is fine for me because this is all about cosplay. And I need something that was going to be looking good when I do my Star-Lord. And also be lightweight. So just wanted to show you guys this. I'll put the link in the description below. As I put this over here, because it wasn't that bad. It was like $90, and $90 whatever was on sale. Also with the little holsters, really good. But beyond that, I just want to say, Guardians 3. How can I put this in the words the right way for you guys to understand the level of amazement and just I cherish this man so much, and he's so cool. He's just a talented guy. But man, the myth, the legend himself, the living legend himself, James freaking Gunn. James Gunn has done so much in his career. Now, what I mean, like, so much, like, monumental things. Like, he's definitely, I've been a fan of James Gunn since Slither. I loved his writing from, like, Day of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead. He wrote that. Not that he didn't direct it, but he wrote it. What's his name? Did the directing. But I do like when they work together, because I feel like they bring out the best out of each other. But separately they're good too. Zack Snyder, that's who I'm trying to refer to. But I love James Gunn brand of humor. I thought this movie just probably honestly is the best trilogy of Marvel. Best Marvel trilogy of all. You have your Iron Man, you have your Captain America, but I recently just went back and watched the last two volumes of Guardians, and also including the Christmas special once again, which I loved. I loved that one. And still, they did not skip a beat. Now, I felt like they stay, like, James Gunn knows how to stay in his lane with these stories and keep it intact and keep everything going. Like, I love Peacemaker. Like, I didn't know how much I was going to like Peacemaker I thought he was just a one-off character, whatever, from the Suicide Squad, which I do love. I did really like the Suicide Squad, not the one with the Will Smith. I hated that one, but this one, I just hated that not a lot of people that got to see it, and with COVID and everything, it didn't get its just due, but his writing is all over it, and his writing is all over Peacemaker, and his style of writing is all over this. And he sold credit on this one. He had to compromise or whatnot on the last two, but this one, he got to do everything he wanted to do. Like, he went out with a bang. And I mean, mind you, this is after the second one. It was like we wasn't sure if he was going to be able to do a volume 3 because they had fired him at the time, and then Disney had fired him at the time because of old tweets or whatever. And then he got hired by Disney. DC, and did doing his work. He's still down. He was doing his work over there now, and now he's the president or CEO, whatever the case may be. But he had to finish this last piece, and that's what he did. And he went out with a bang. This man went out with a bang he told his story. And I feel like this is a complete story. It doesn't even need to have a sequel. Honestly, you don't even need to have a sequel. It was a full circle, story. Like, everyone got what they were looking for, from the first movie. And that's hard to do, hard to map out, because people might change, change actors over the years. I mean, it's like 10 years, surprisingly 10 years. The first one was in 2014, I believe. 2014, 2013, and this is something that Guardians is something that nobody knew about. I definitely did not know anything about. I didn't know anything. I didn't know any character. I think I've seen maybe heroes, Marvel heroes, Avengers, whatever. I think it was a little scene with the Guardians, and that was it. But to come to make a whole franchise and make people fall in love with these characters, that's something that only James Gunn could do. Honestly, when you have a talking squirrel, a talking raccoon, and a talking tree, Groot, and all he says is "I am Groot," and you make us fall in love with these characters like Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, Nebula now, even with this one, and matter of fact, you even understood why she was such an evil person in the first one, why she was so bent on destruction and, or of having, going after Gamora. You get it. And I mean, even what you have, what's her name? The one with the antennas, Mantis. Well, I have a soft crush for Mantis, honestly. Mantis, I love you. Just want to let you know that I do. I don't mind the antennas, the eyes. I don't, that's what makes you special. Just want to let you know, Mantis, that is what makes you, and that's why I love you. But I digress. That's another story. I'll send you a love letter in the mail another day. But I love Mantis. I love Drax. They even have Cosmo, the dog that we got to see in the movies before, in the collector's area. But I did wish we got to see a little bit more Howard the Duck. Just as a little extra, but I did, even what's his name, James Gunn's brother, who's in the movie, I wish when I saw him at Terrificon, I would say probably a few years ago, I think it was right around the first, maybe the second Guardians movie. I think it just came out or it was about to come out, and no one was at his table. And I remember I was trying to get a picture with somebody else. I think it was matter of fact, I think it was that year I was going to see Candyman, because this is right when Zoom was killing it on on the Flash, and I really wanted to get a picture with the voice of Zoom and in the face of Candyman and all that. I can't even think of his name at the moment to save my life, and I hate it because we went to the same. He went to my high school years ago, and it was cool that we had that connection. But that's another story. I saw James Gunn's brother, like I think Bart. I don't know. I can't remember his real name. I'm horrible with names, by the way. I saw him there, and I was just like, "Oh, that's the dude from Guardians. That's James Gunn's brother right there." And I wish at the time I went over to talk to him, because no one was at the table. I don't think nobody really knew who he was like that, or just didn't care like that, because I really didn't see anybody over his table. And now I wish I did. I wish I would have got over there, because who knows? I would have chopped it up, and actually, those are the type of moments that you could actually talk to actors and whatnot, and shoot, who knows? I could have probably been in this Guardians 3 movie. I could have been in the background. If I would have just hey, if I would have took that moment, took the opportunity, to talk to that man, probably be friends. I'll probably be on Peacemaker. Probably, who knows what could happen, but hey, now hindsight 2020, I fucked up. I fucked up on that. I should have said hi. I should have said hi. Things, you never know what can happen. So to all you out there, if you see the chance out there, you see it, take it. Take the opportunity. That's how I say it. But yes, going back to the movie. It was, and this is gonna be. I'm not trying to spoil it for everyone, so forgive me if I do say little things here and there. But break my mic. Ooh, okay, almost dropped my mic. But forgive me if I might blurt out certain things in the movie. I'm not trying to spoil it for you guys, but if at the same time, depending on when I put this out, if you do. If I do say something and you ain't see the movie yet, that's just your fault. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a week of this. If you ain't see it yet, maybe 2. If you ain't see it yet, that's your fault. But everything on this movie, from the first part, like hearing "Creep," was like I'd never really paid attention to that song. I don't know. I never was a Radiohead person, but this is the acoustic version of "Creep," and honestly, as soon as I heard it and I listened to the words, it was getting me. I was like, oh, it just set the tone of what we was about to get into, and honestly, it worked. It really worked. Seeing Rocket like going through that whole story before we got to that point, seeing the whole story of him in the beginning. To see why he has the little cybernetic pieces and why he talks and why is he so smart, so intelligent. Like his mind rivals like Tony Stark and T'Challa, Reed Richards, but he just a talking raccoon. He's just that smart, but you don't understand why he's that way, and you learn, and it's so horrifying. To see, this animal, at this point, you look at Rocket as a person, not even just a pet or like a animal or mammal. Just he's a person. Like he's that. I don't know. It's something about him that is so. The humanity is in him. Like he has a soul. So it's like you feel it and you see the eyes. And I would say kudos to the special effects team, because they made these squirrels. They made these raccoons look so real. I thought they were real. I honestly thought these raccoons were real, and they're all CGI. They killed this one. Like, I was so disappointed with the last few Marvel movies. Like, especially when it comes to effects. Like, I didn't mind some things in Doctor Strange, but I was just disappointed with the story, and the whole thing of like they keep putting like these little sidekick kids in these movies to try to like get to use the new Avengers stuff going. Which I mean, that you could do different ways, better ways to do this instead of shoehorning these dumb kids in these movies, and it just doesn't, it just doesn't add up. It just doesn't, do anything significant, to the story, or you just don't need it. Case in point with Ironheart, you could have had that one scene with Ironheart in Black Panther, and it was, it'd be over with. You could have killed that whole situation in like 10 minutes of the story, and just go on with something else. She didn't need to be there the whole rest of the time. What is it? Gosh, like this whole Marvel Phase 4, 5 thing has been atrocious. Honestly, this has been horrible. Like the TV stuff is different than the movies. I'm not talking about just the TV show, the TV stuff. I'm talking about just the movies in general. Have been lackluster. It has been falling off on the waste. It's been wasteful of time and money. The way they have been doing these Marvel movies right now, and it's like you're starting to catch up to the DC bullshit of we're putting stuff out and not really taking our time and caring about these characters to give you a good product and tell you this awesome story, why you should be watching this character, why you should look up to this character. Like it just, they're not doing that. Or if they're trying to, they're not doing a really good job. And I mean, they got it's so many woke stuff. I hate to say that, but there's a lot of elements they try to put in there in these movies now. And with this Guardians, you didn't have to hear none of that. It was just Guardians. It was just the story. It was written out of space. You're gonna see different types of people, different types of aliens, and you're gonna take it and just go with it, and because that's what you're gonna do. And it was so great. This has been the best Marvel movie in a long time. I would say since No Way Home. No Way Home has some moments, but No Way Home started it off. It kicked it off in the right way. Hopefully everything was gonna follow up, but it didn't. But this Marvel movie right here, I don't know about the Marvels. I don't have a lot of faith in that one. But if this is going to be the last one, this should be the last one. And it starts something new, because this right here, this is how you finish it. This is how you do the movie right. Like this movie, God, it made you cry. Like honestly, it made me cry in certain moments. God, man, like I don't want to say so much about the story of what happens, but they gotta help out. They have a mission. Their mission is to save their best friend, and that's Rocket. You have Adam Warlock in this now, but this time it's Adam Warlock that's not so Warlock. He's like, they kind of play him kind of dumb, which I'm kind of getting tired of this whole playing these characters stupid now. The actor is good. He looks good as Adam Warlock. The look of him was pretty cool. The look of him was pretty dope. I did enjoy that. I did like that whole take of it. I just didn't care for a little bit of the stupidity with him. But you can take it or leave it. The jokes are there. The jokes are there in the movie, and I loved it. I loved the whole thing. The villain of the whole story, which is also the same guy who was also in Peacemaker. Very good. God, man, he was so good in this. So good as the High Evolutionary. Like, honestly, he rivaled like a Kang. Dang, who else could he? He's up there. Like he's a great upgrade, a great step in the right direction. The High Evolutionary, which is dope, and he made you hate him. He made you fear him. Like you didn't know what you were gonna get from that guy, and the way he would talk to Rocket was like, oh no, Rocket baby, you need to go. You need to try to get the hell up out of there. Like you got scared for everyone else's lives because of him, and that just tells you how much of a good job that actor does to put you in that mind state when you see him on screen. Like when you see him on screen, you just feel like, oh shit, ain't nothing good gonna happen right now. Like you hear him, you know he's coming. Oh no, you need to like check please. I need to go. That's the type of thing. Like it was like, you know, you did something bad, or your dad's coming home to give you a beating, or you have to go to the principal's office. You're scared to go to see the principal. Like he just gave you that type of fear. It is just like, man, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. But he was also clean. He was real clean, and how he did everything too. It's just a testament of how this guy really, like, how this guy worked. And I don't know what other shows or movies he's been in, but he's only been on my radar since Peacemaker, and that's the only other movie or show I've seen him in. So, you know, I don't know where this guy came from, but I like him. He's good. I hope to see him in more things actually too, because like James Gunn, he knows how to pick the right people for certain things. The story, everything was just great. I don't want to say everything, but there is a planet that's like that he had to go to for this mission. That's like, it's like alive. It's like a body. I don't know. It's kind of an alien thing where it's like it's on the outside. It's like a organ. It's like a living organism, like it's, you know, I don't know, it's like it was on your skin, like type of thing. But on the inside, they built this whole space station on the inside, which is different, you know. Like on top of the surface, it's all nasty and, you know, it just kind of looks sticky and yucky and stuff. It just ugh. But on the inside, it's really clean and, you know, pristine. People walking around, and it's just it looked like a really cool. It looked like if Apple had a mall, like Apple Mall itself, it would have looked like that. Oh, you know, really, you know, brand spanking new type of white. Nothing was dirty, but the colors were there. In a lot of areas. God, it was so good. It was such a good movie. Can I say it? I don't know if I should say it. You know what? I'm gonna say it. Screw it. Where the hell is Star-Lord's mask? Where was it? Like, I understand he's having a moment in the movie where he's still trying to get over Gamora. Like, they hinted to that whole thing in the Christmas special. But man, like, I know he's, you know, he's sad and all, but not once did you see the boots, like the rocket boots that you got to see in both movies before. There was no Star-Lord mask. It was, I mean, I didn't even notice that, you know, with all the promotion that he's not wearing his mask until I really watched the whole movie, and I'm like, I didn't see no mask. Where was it? Like, that's one of the coolest things about Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord, is that he has the mask. Like, it's really cool. Like, there's a scene where he's like, it didn't hit me until I was like, you know what, to the end, he had to be out in space and he's about to die, and this is where I tell y'all stuff that I should have not told y'all. But you know what, if you didn't see this movie already, it's your fault. Spoiler alert. I'm gonna put this in the top, let y'all know when we talk about this. It's a spoiler talk, a little bit of spoilers. But, you know, his face swells up and everything, which is crazy because I didn't see anybody else's face swell up. No, actually, no. I take that back because I do remember in the second movie when they were throwing out the Ravagers that, you know, that was not trying to be on the mutiny side. They were getting thrown out, and one of them, like, his face did swell up. So maybe it's just a very good, like, Gamora, she got sent out there, her face was getting frozen. In the first movie, and her face didn't, you know, get big or nothing. But this movie, this similar thing happened to him, yet there was no mask to put on, like, you know, to save his life. I don't know what that is about. I want answers. I know it got wrecked in the second movie, but I would surely think he would have got a new one by now. You know, all the new technologies they got, and, you know, come on now, what's going on with that? But because I love masks, you know, that's just my thing. it was just a fun time, a fun vehicle, and of a ride. It's this movie's about 2.5 hours long. Man, if you wanted to say goodbye, this is a good movie to say goodbye to the whole crew. Like, they had these family, like they had, these fights within themselves, but it was like family fights. It was like they're arguing out of love. Like they're, asking people, why are you so stupid? Because even they love each other, but they gotta ask, why the hell are you why are you this way? So, because you being this way, we always have to do this. Why can't you get your shit together type of thing? It was one of those type of vibes in their arguments. But it was still, they love each other. Like the family aspect, family, Vin Diesel voice. It's like, it's there. It's all over it. And speaking of, Vin Diesel, Groot, he's not baby Groot. He's swole Groot, and he does get older in this whole thing too. But it's just like, Groot is there. Groot is there. He kind of reminds me of a Ninja Turtle a little bit, the way he moves a little bit. It kind of like somebody in a suit. Like, I don't know who they did ADR, like not ADR, but motion capture for, but it's definitely something different about the way he moves, the way he walks around. And I know it's not the same Groot from the first one. This is an offspring of that Groot. So, it's just a weird thing to have with that character. But I love Groot. Groot is awesome. And, man, it's just so much I can say. I just don't want to put everything out there, because I want you guys to see this movie and see it for yourself. One thing I can also say, I said this yesterday. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Guardians 1 through 3, Value 1 through 3, included a special. After yesterday watching this movie, I can honestly say that this franchise, yes, is honestly the best trilogy in all of the Marvel cinematic universe. Like, I was really hoping for Ant-Man on this one, on the last movie, but they failed. They really, really failed. I was rooting for Ant-Man. If they would have kept it grounded like he is, a grounded street level hero the way they have him, it would have been a great one. It would have been a nice third part in of the story. But they did. They screwed that up. So now they most likely gonna have to make another fourth movie. But this is not about Ant-Man. Guardians, yes, best in that field. But honestly, this is the best Star Wars-esque story franchise that we're ever going to get. Honestly, like, it takes you above and beyond the Call of Duty of what an adventure story is, especially when it comes to space. Like, I love everything about astronauts and superhero stuff in space and spaceships and all everything. All that stuff is cool. Aliens, everything. You're on an adventure every time. You met these characters. It wasn't like they had superpowers and stuff. Their whole origin story was them getting together and learning how to work together and eventually becoming friends and hopefully family, at the end of the story. And that's what you got in that first one. And then by the second movie is more like, what is family? Like, learning more about who you are and all that stuff and getting that together. It told so many things there. It has all the elements of a great Star Wars story without anybody from Star Wars. Like, you would wish there was a lightsaber. Like, definitely, they have these architect types that could easily fit into a Star Wars universe, but it's not. It's James Gunn's universe. It's Guardians' universe. And Guardians right now is just like the best Star Wars right now. Honestly, it's like you only get certain areas, you only get certain planets, of Tatooine and all this stuff, from for the Star Wars stuff. We've had 30, 40 years of Star Wars. Do the original movies, the what is it? The special editions, the what is it? The prequel series, the prequel stuff, and then the new installments. All three. Those ones with Rey and all that. Bad or good, whatever. You always get the same planets every time, every freaking time. Like there's no other planets to go to. With Guardians, every movie you got a different planet. They stayed on task. They didn't go somewhere, like they didn't go to Earth and have to figure out stuff and be out of that. No, every place they go to in the galaxy is something new, a different sector, different freaking jumps they have to go through just to even get to certain areas in space, in deep space, in the outer rim of space. You got different types of planets, living planets that were freaking planet size, people that are just dead, and now they just build colonies and whatever inside the skulls. You get that stuff, and it's like, where's this in Star Wars? Why don't we have this? In every movie, we get a new planet. Like, it's so cool, and everybody's planet is so vastly different from the other person. Like, it's not 3, 4, 5 planets with sand everywhere, or 4, 5, 6, 7 planets with just snow. Like, James Gunn give you every different planet there is. Like, if it was a planet full of lollipops, it might be a planet full of lollipops. If it's a planet full of like some Hellraiser type stuff, it might just be that, and it's gonna fit the look. Oh my god, it's just like they do such a good job, and I haven't felt like this in a long time when it comes to Marvel, but also movies about space and that space adventure, that Flash Gordon type stuff back in the day, and this is what you get that. Like, you have separate adventures for everybody that's in this team that would have been great by itself. You could have little one-offs, it would have been great. Matter of fact, just the Christmas special was their own one-off thing, and just Drax and Mantis had a fun story itself. It didn't have to be the full team. It was just them two, and they had a hell of a good time. You had a hell of a ride. You had fun. You enjoyed their time, and that was it. So it's the same thing if you would have got a Rocket and Groot story. Same thing if it was just a Gamora and the Ravagers. Sylvester Stallone is part of, is shown now more in this. There's so much here that they didn't just have the focus just on Peter Quills like you would have thought. Like in the first one, it's like, oh, this is all about the white dude, the cool jacket, whatever. No, this is about everybody. This is called Guardians of the Galaxy. It's not like how we got the X-Men movies and every story is about Hugh Jackman, or this is the X-Men First Class stuff and damn near everything is about Mystique. Because of the bigger name, that's on the bill. You got everybody had their moments. Everybody had their time to shine. It was brilliant. It was fun. I can't even nitpick too much with the little stuff because I had such a good time. It was so well done, and I enjoyed every bit of it. Go see it. You will love it. You will cry. I swear to God, you're gonna cry. Look, if you don't cry with the story, you're gonna cry with the music to the story, because the music just elevates some of these things that happen, and it chokes you up, bro. It chokes you up, and you're not gonna understand why are you feeling that way, because James Gunn, man, this dude he's a genius. He's that guy. Honestly, he's that guy. He's doing the Lord's work over there. He is doing the Lord's work, and honestly, if everything goes as planned the way that it should, and it's under his management with DC over at DC, it could be a game changer over at DC if he's going to be able to do everything he needs to do or wants to do. I haven't had much faith in the DC products, But with James Gunn over there, there's hope. There's a future. I do want to see his ideas about Superman. Hopefully we don't get some of the funny. Hopefully we get some jokes, but get even jokes. Speaking of jokes, jokesters or funny people. My boy Nathan Fillion has a little cameo in the movie. Sorry, spoiler alert. Nathan Fillion is one of my favorite actors, because I love Firefly. Firefly is one of my favorites. Firefly and Serenity, and he also was in Slither as well. And that's the thing also with James Gunn, he used a lot of the same people in his movies and shows, because it's like, why need an audition when I made this whole character just for you? Like, you're my boy, you're my homegirl, you're my wife, you're, all this stuff. This character is fit for you. Like, he does that. So there's some heads in this movie that you probably saw in Suicide Squad or in Peacemaker. So, definitely be, keep your eyes out and open for that. But yeah, man, just go see this movie. I'm done talking. I'm going to take a nap. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. If you're hearing this at night, have a good night, or in the morning, good morning. Just, that's it. I don't know what else to say, but just get off this damn podcast right now. And, it's your boy Jurassic. Positive vibes only. This is the BearatNight podcast. Thank you for joining me. I'm gonna figure a better outro another time, whatever. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Positive vibes only. Positive vibes only. Okay, I think I said that right. Okay, let me not get awkward trying to get to this outro, and I'm doing this way too long. I'm keeping everything on this because I'm not editing. You gonna get the raw, real deal in this whole thing with me in this podcast, visually and listening wise. That's how I roll, and I'm going now because I just made this really awkward for the both of us. Love you guys. Peace.
Listening to BearatNight podcast with your host, Jurassic Parker.